psychiatry. So I'm sorry. Yeah. So okay. So let me say the aim of that aim of this paper and then the talk. I'm sorry. Yeah. So I'm sorry for the disturbance. Yeah. No, it will not disturb. So the aim of the talk is the following. The phrase gerbe stack appeared in two papers in two different setups. First paper is by Baranskyu, the differentiable stacks in gerbes. There they define a gerbe stack to be a Morrison of stacks, satisfying some conditions. In the other paper, the phrase gerbe stack appeared is by Kemali and others. So that's the paper non-abelian differential gears. So there the phrase gerbe stack means a Lie group extension, a monotonic class of Lie group extension. So this aim of this talk is to give a correspondence between these two notions, and the motivation. Why do I want to do this? Because of the following reason. In those two papers, they talk about connection on a gerbe stack in two different setups, because the setup itself is different. Gerbe stack means two different things. So they talk about connection and other geometric structures also. So we believe if we give a correspondence between these two notions, these two setups, then we might be able to understand the notion of connection and other geometric structures in a more in a better way. So that is the motivation. And the plan is the following. I'll quickly introduce what are Lie groupoids, what are differentiable stacks, and the correspondence between differentiable stack and Lie groupoids. Then I'll give a correspondence between Morrison of Lie groupoids and Morrison of differentiable stacks. So as I mentioned before, a Morrison of Lie groupoids, a special morphism is called a gerbe stack, and in one paper, and the Morrison of differentiable stacks with certain extra conditions are called gerbe stack in another paper. So we'll see the correspondence between these two. So I'll quickly introduce what is the Lie groupoid. A Lie groupoid is a groupoid, a category where every morphism is an isomorphism. We assume that the object space and morphism space both are smooth manifolds, and both source and target maps are submersions. They're already surjective, but we impose their submersions, and the other structure maps are smooth maps. So to give some example, if you take any manifold can be treated as a Lie groupoid, and any Lie group can be treated as a Lie groupoid. Any group can be treated as a groupoid with the object set with a singleton. And if you take an action of a Lie group on a manifold, that can also be treated as it's a Lie groupoid. So these are the basic examples of Lie groupoids. So similar to the notion of similar to the setup of Lie group action on a manifold, we also have a notion of Lie groupoid action of a Lie groupoid on a manifold, that's given by the following pair. Usually a Lie group action is given by a map from P cross G to P, satisfying the usual group action conditions. But here we are taking not the full product but the relative product that comes with a map AG from P to G0, and the action map is not from the P cross G1 but the relative product, the pullback P cross G1 or G0 to P. So let me. So this map P to G0 is this map. It's set for the usual group action conditions. So one of the conditions, if you take an element P, if you take the identity element, it should go to the identity element. It should go to P. But what is one here? One is the identity arrow associated to AG of P. And the usual conditions. If you take two group elements, if you product them together, then take the action. It is same thing as taking the action first, then taking the action one more time. Now, some example for action of a Lie group on a manifold. If you take a Lie group G and the associated Lie group oid, action of this Lie group oid on a manifold P, which is simply action of this Lie group G on the manifold P. That's the first example. And second example is, it's similar to the group action. If you take a Lie group or any group, there is an action of G on itself given by the multiplication map. Every group comes with binary operation, so this is the binary operation. So you can treat this as a left action or right action depending on what you're treating as a group, what you're treating as a set. So here also we are doing the same thing. Given a Lie group oid G, we have an action of G on itself. It's actually on the morphism manifold G1. That's also given by the multiplication map, the composition map G1 cross G1 to G1. So depending on whether you are treating it as a left action or right action, you will consider the source map or the target map separately. So this is the example of a action of Lie group oid on G1, maybe on, I can say on itself. So one more example, then I'll go to the next setup. Now, another example of a Lie group oid, as I mentioned before, comes from a manifold M, a Lie group G, and an action of a Lie group on the manifold. So for this Lie group oid, an action of this Lie group oid on a manifold P is simply given by a map pi from P to M, such that this map P to M is okay. This is the typo. No, that's actually correct. So this map pi is G equivariant. So this is what an action of Lie group oid on the manifold P means. Okay, now you might have already seen, given a Lie group G, one can associate what is called the classifying stack, classifying space, usually denoted as BG. What is this? This classifies principal G bundles. So similarly, for a Lie group oid also, we can talk about the same thing, something which classifies principal G bundles. So we first need to have a definition of principal G bundles over a manifold for a Lie group oid G. So similar to the setup of Lie group principal bundles, this principal G bundle comes with a manifold P, an action of G on P, and a subject to submersion to M, so that this map pi is G invariant. That's because there is only action of G is there only on P, not on M. So I want the map pi to be G invariant, and the other condition is this map P cross G1 to P cross P. It's a diffeomorphism. This is I mean, you might have seen this same map, similar map in the case of Lie groups. This only means the action is free and transfer on the fiber. So usually we denote a principal G bundle by the following diagram. You have a smooth map pi from P to M, and so this is how you denote a principal G bundle of the manifold M. And some trivial, like some example for principal G bundle is given by the target map of the Lie group oid. For every Lie group oid, you can consider the target map as a principal G bundle. So this should not be surprising. If you take a Lie group G, this map can be treated as a principal G bundle, trivial principal G bundle. So we are doing the same thing here. We are taking an arbitrary Lie group oid G and considering the target map to be the principal G bundle. And there is no reason to take simply the target map. We can also take the source map. Then it will become the left principal G bundle. It only depends on the which type of action you are considering. So that's an example of a principal G bundle, the trivial principal G bundle. And as I mentioned before, for every Lie group G, we know some setup that classifies principal G bundles. So here we are trying to do the same thing. For a Lie groupoid, we want to associate some geometry structure which classifies principal Lie bundle. So so that's what a pseudo functor does. Oh, sorry, this is not visible. Okay. That's what a pseudo functor does. So before that, let me give some fact. Recall that in the setup of principal Lie bundles, if you have two principal Lie bundles over the same manifold, then any morphism is an isomorphism. I am assuming that this map is identity map. Any morphism of principal bundles is an isomorphism. So that's what happens in this setup also. So any morphism of principal bundles, principal Lie bundles, is an isomorphism. So using this this fact, we associate a groupoid for each manifold. Given a manifold M, consider the category BGM. The objects are principal Lie bundles over the manifold M, and morphisms are principal Lie bundles over the same manifold. Because of the reasons I mentioned just now, this category is it turns out it is a groupoid. So now we associate a pseudo functor in the following way. For each manifold M, you associate the category BGM. So this is at the level of objects. If you take a morphism, M prime M to M prime, we are supposed to associate a functor. That's because this is a category. How do you define that? So the functor is from BGM prime to BGM. You take a principal Lie bundle over the manifold M prime, then you simply pull back. The pullback is the usual pullback. The usual pullback of principal Lie bundles for Lie group G also. So that gives a functor from BGM prime to BGM. Now it turns out that this functor is locally determined. What does it mean? You might have seen this in the case of principal Lie bundle for Lie group G. If I have a manifold M and I have an open cover, and if somebody gives me a principal Lie bundle over these open covers separately, and if they say on the intersection there is some nice compatibility, then I'll be able to produce a principal Lie bundle over the manifold M. That's what I mean to say locally determined. So it turns out that this functor is also locally determined. So any pseudo functor that's locally determined, we call it a stack. This stack is a yeah. So we call this to be a stack, and as I said before, this BG is a locally determined functor. So we call this to be stack of principal Lie bundles. So yeah. So now let me give some notation, some examples of stacks of stack over the category of manifolds. So you take a manifold M and consider the associated Lie groupoid. So here all structure maps are identity maps. So as I mentioned before, for every Lie groupoid, you can associate the stack of principal Lie bundles. So that's what this BMM is. By abuse of notation, we denote it by M or by M bar. So this is the stack associated to the manifold M. So we say a stack D2 category of manifolds is representable if I can find a manifold M and an isomorphism of stacks D to M. Then I say the stack D is representable by manifold. So here I need to say something. Previously I said a stack is a pseudo functor from the category of manifolds to category of groupoids. But here I'm considering it as a functor from the category of some category D to some category of manifold. So this is because I am treating pseudo functors same thing as 5-word categories. So this is the notion of pseudo functors, and this is the notion of 5-word categories. So I'm assuming I'm assuming the you already know relation between these two. If not, I can explain in the discussion session. Yeah. So this is the notion of representable stack. So now another example. If you take a site CG, CJ, where C is a category and J is some growth topology. For this also, you can associate the stack or the object C. That's what you have done here. We took an object M of the category of manifolds, and we associated a stack M bar. Here also we are doing the same thing. We fixed a category C, which was a category of manifolds in the previous example, and this consider the slice category C mod U and the obvious functor to C. Obvious in the sense, if you take an object V to U, you send it to the object V of the category C. So it turns out, if I assume J is subcanonical, it means all the representable functors are sheaves. Then it turns out that this functor is a stack. This is locally determined. And for same reason before, it turns out we denote the stack by U or U bar. So this is the setup of stack. Now we are interested in stacks where we can do some differential geometry. For that, we need to put an extra structure or extra condition on the stacks we are considering. So the condition we are asking is that those stacks which we are seeing as, again here I'm seeing as pseudo functor, they are representable by Lie groupoids. What does that mean? I think I mentioned before also. So it means there is a Lie groupoid G. There is a Lie groupoid G and an isomorphism of stacks from D to BG. So the reason I'm going back and forth between pseudo functors and fiber categories is because for the following reason. To define stack, it's easy to use the setup of pseudo functors. There I can quickly say what is locally determined nature is. But if I want to define a morphism between them, the better way to use is the fiber category setup. So I assume people know this, and if not, I'll say in the next session later.
Praphulla, maybe can you say something a bit now, because like I feel like I really don't understand this passage you do back and forth, and maybe I will get more and more lost. So if you can just say just 2 minutes of this.
Okay, fine. So I assume this is good. Okay. So pseudo functor is as I mentioned, it's a functor from the category of sorry. Yeah, so if I take a pseudo functor F from C up to category groupoids, I can associate if a fiber category over C. That means I want to fix a category is D and a functor with certain nice conditions. So how do you do that? So the category D, the objects of this category D are consider the following page. So I need to fix an object U and an object X of F of U. I take so an object in D is a pair. What is it? First, I'm supposed to consider an object of C and an object X of FU. And there is an obvious functor from D to C. What do? I take this pair and I'll send it to the object U. This functor D to C satisfies some condition in the sense of there exists. I can talk about pullbacks and let me say one result. So if I have a morphism in C and an object W in D that maps to V, then there is a notion of Cartesian arrow. It says any morphism in C, any object in D can be pulled back along any morphism in C with appropriate morphism. It means W maps to V, and there is a Cartesian arrow W prime, so that this maps to F. So this is the one of the main properties for the category fibered groupoids. And how do I go
I
from?
think I'm happy. Well, okay, sorry, but I think I'm happy. I think I understand your point. But yeah, sorry. I don't want to interrupt.
Yeah, so I'll simply change this arrow to states. And how do I do that? Given any fibered category D to C, I want to associate a pseudo functor, and I do that by the following way. For every object C of the category C or U of the category C, I simply take the fiber D of U. The definition is the usual definition of fiber in any map. What do? I take objects in D that maps to the object U, but this is a category. So this D will be a category. So objects of DU are object that maps to U, and morphisms are such that U prime. So this is commutative diagram. So this is how we associate a pseudo functor for a fibered category and fibered category for a pseudo functor.
Thank
I
you.
assume this is clear to some extent. I will try to explain.
Yeah, I think so. Thank you. Yeah.
Yes. So I was talking about representable stacks representable by Lie groupoids. So I said a stack is representable by Lie groupoid if there exists an isomorphism between these two stacks BG and the stack D that we have started with. So there's already so these are what are called differentiable stacks. So there is already description for differentiable stacks. That's by the notion of atlas. So let me start with the stack D to man. An atlas for the stack D consists of the setup X to D, a morphism of stacks from X to D, where X is an object of this category, manifold. Yeah. So X is an object of the category manifold. So it's simply a manifold which I'm treating as a stack. X, I mentioned before, any object can be treated as a stack if the category has a nice subcanonical topology. Here that is the case. So X I'm treating as a stack, and this is a morphism of stack. I want this to satisfy some nice condition. So first condition is that this is representable. That means if I take any morphism of stacks y to D, where y is again a object of the manifold of the category of manifold, such that this pullback, this two fiber product is representable by manifold. And the other condition is I want the second projection to be a subject of submersion. So this will ensure that if I start with an atlas, I can associate a Lie groupoid. If you can recall, for a Lie groupoid, you want the source target maps to be subject to submersion. So this is where I use that this map is subject to submersion. So I'm asking this to be subject to submersion. So this will reflect in proving that these two maps are subject to submersion. So for every stack with an atlas, I can construct a Lie groupoid, and this subject submersion assumption make sure that these maps are subject to submersions. So that's what I'm saying in the theorem. So a stack is differentiable stack if and only if there exists an atlas for this stack. No, I think there is not so much time. So let me. Okay, so this is about differentiable stacks. Now I want to associate a morphism of stacks or a morphism of Lie groupoids. So what we have done is the following: given a Lie groupoid G, we have associated a stack BG. Now second thing we want to do is, given another Lie groupoid we have another stack, of course. Suppose somebody gets a morphism from G to H. I want to specify what is the morphism from BG to BH. So this is not very difficult. This is similar to the case of in the case of Lie groups. Suppose I have a morphism of Lie groups, and I have a okay. So to associate, what does it mean to associate a morphism from BG to BH? It means given a principal G bundle, I want to associate a principal H bundle. So we have already seen this before in the differential geometry course. Given a principal G bundle, we can associate a principal H bundle by the what is called associated fiber bundle construction. Let me write what is it. So you take a manifold, you take a principal bundle, P over M, principal G bundle, then you construct the product P cross H over G. This becomes a principal H bundle. So that's what I'm doing here as well. So I'm starting with the principal G bundle over the manifold M. Then I'm considering the quotient space P cross H over G1. So this gives a principal H bundle. So yeah, so in this way we associate for every morphism of Lie groupoids a morphism of stacks BG to BH. Now the next question is, does every morphism of stacks BG to BH come from a morphism of Lie groupoids? So it turns out this is not the case. Further, we need to allow a more general notion of morphism of Lie groupoids. That's what we are called bibundles. So let me introduce the notion of bibundles here. So given a Lie groupoids, given two Lie groupoids G and H, a bibundle consists of a manifold P, a right action of H on P, a left action of G on P, such that these two actions are compatible. On P there are two actions, one from G from the left side and H from the right side, such that this anchor map, the map mentioned in the relative product, this map is a G equivalent map, and the second condition is the anchor map of G is a principal H bundle. So we denote that by the following thing. So we want this to be principal H bundle, and we want this map to be G equivalent map. Yeah, sorry, that's G invariant. There is no action of G on H0. So as I mentioned before, every this bibundle can be treated as a generalized morphism. That means for every morphism of Lie groupoids, I can associate a bibundle. And how do I do that? I take a morphism of Lie groupoids from G to H, and for this I need to associate a bibundle. So first thing is I need to look for a principal H bundle. And how do I know that? For every Lie groupoid, the target map can be considered as a principal H bundle. So using this, I pull back this principal H bundle along the map F to get a principal G bundle over the space G0. That's what I want. I want a principal H bundle, but over the space G0. So that I do by pulling back the principal.
It seems like the screen sharing stopped, maybe, at least for me.
Yes.
Now it's gone blank again, maybe. But it was working for
then
like
I'm removing this and then
for a
I'm using
second.
from the other. So can okay can you make me the other
Oh, because it dropped, right? Yeah, I see. Hold on. Yes. So now also the other one should be able to share the screen. There we go.
so here I'll not be able to write anything, but still I think I can manage to some extent.
All right.
Yeah. So I have mentioned. So how much time do I have? Say 10 minutes possibly.
So Praphulla, yeah, don't worry about the time. I mean, yeah. You can
Okay.
take 10, 15 more minutes, I think. No worries.
Yeah. So what I said just now is for every Morrison Lie group points, I can associate a bibundle. And how do I do that? I take the trivial H bundle, the target map. Then I pull back along the map F, which was the morphism coming from the Morrison Lie group points. This gives a principal H bundle over G0. This is what I call the bibundle associated to the associated Morrison Lie group points G to H. Now, as I mentioned before, for every Morrison Lie group points, you can associate a Morrison stacks. But bibundles are more general version of Morrison Lie group points. So I'm saying for that also, for a bibundle also, I can associate a Morrison Lie group Morrison stacks. So that I'm doing in the following diagram. So G2, this P can be considered as a, we are starting with a G's bibundle P. There is an action of G on P and an action of H on P. I'm starting from a principal G bundle. Then I'll associate a principal H bundle that gives Morrison stacks. I'm doing only for the setup of objects. For morphisms, you can do the similar thing. So start with a principal G bundle Q to M. Q to M principal G bundle. Then consider the pullback of Q to G0 and P to G0. This gives a this gives a manifold P cross Q over G0. So this is what we do for the Lie groups also. We take a principal G bundle, consider P cross G quotient with P cross H quotient with the Lie group G. It turns out that from that to the manifold M, that becomes a principal H bundle. But here the situation is slightly different. So what you do is you consider the quotient, consider the projection map, and do quotient by G1 on the both sides. There is a typo. This is Q. So Q mod G1 is isomorphic to M, similar to the case of principal G bundles. P mod G is isomorphic to M. So here it's the same thing. So the projection map induce a map on the quotient space. So this becomes a principal H bundle. The action of H on P induce an action of H on this quotient, giving a principal H bundle. So this is the way you associate a Morrison stacks for a bibundle. Now, this maybe I'll say later. So now we have associated Morrison stack for a Morrison Lie group parts. Now the first question is, what happens if you take a specific Morrison Lie group parts? If you start with a Lie group part extension, what can you say about the associated Morrison stacks? A Lie group part extension is a Morrison Lie group parts where the base map is identity map and the map at the level of morphisms is subject to submersion. So the question is, what can you say about the associated morphism stacks BG to BH? So it turns out that this map F from BG to BH is an epimorphism of stacks. So let me quickly say what is it? A morphism of stacks is said to be an morphism of stacks if for every manifold U and a morphism of stacks, I can find a certificate submersion V to U and a morphism of stacks V to D with a two commutative diagram made from F compose P and Q compose F. So this seems to be more artificial for the usual notion of epimorphism. So if you use a two-unit lemma, it turns out it's somewhat related to what we already know. The morphism stacks is said to be epimorphism if for every manifold U and an object B in CU is a category. So for every object B in CU, I may not be able to find an object in DU, but I may be able to find an object in DV for a certain submersion V to U, such that that object A in DV maps to the object B that I have chosen. So that's what I've written here. FA is isomorphic to F star B, where F star will be the morphisms CU to CV. Yeah. So this maybe I'll skip for now. So now I'll introduce the notion of gerbe stack. For two stacks D and C, a morphism stack is said to be a gerbe stack if this map D to C is an epimorphism and the diagonal map D to the diagonal D cross D over C, it's also an epimorphism. So now I want to, as I said before, if I start with the Lie group at extension, then the associated morphism stacks is an epimorphism. So it satisfies the first condition. So for the second, so I need to make sure that, so if I want to prove every Lie group at extension associates a gerbe stack, I need to make sure that diagonal morphism is also an epimorphism. Epimorphism stacks. Yeah. So for that I need some small result. So what does it say? It says if I start with a Lie group at extension and the corresponding morphism stacks, this morphism F, this BG has a special element, the trivial principal J bundle. It says F maps the trivial principal bundle to the trivial principal bundle of H. Further, if I take a pullback of this trivial principal bundle, it maps to the pullback of the trivial principal bundle H1 to M. So this result I have used. So then here I am trying to prove that BG to BH is an epimorphism. So what I'm supposed to do, I should take a morphism of stacks U to H. Then I need to associate a morphism of stacks. I need to associate a principal G bundle over some other manifold. So if I start with a principal H bundle, that's a morphism, that's a subject submersion Q to U. So this is the okay, in the previous slide, V here is Q here, and the morphism from U to BH. For this morphism, I associate the morphism Q to BG. That's done by local triviality. So it turns out that this map F is an epimorphism. So this maybe I'll say that. So by the same reason before, we can prove that the diagonal morphism is also an epimorphism. For that, I need to use a alternate description of the stack BG, and then the result that says the construction of BG is it says that it's given by unit embedding, then the stackification of the associated pre-stack. So I need to use this result. That proves that this diagonal morphism is an epimorphism. Yeah, so this is the first main theorem. So what we have done is for every Lie group at extension, we proved that the morphism stacks BG to BH is a gerbe stack. Furthermore, if I take any other Lie group at extension which is Morita equivalent, it turns out that the associated morphism is compatible in this sense. there is a two commutative diagram between these two. So this serves the one purpose, that says a gerbe stack in the setup of the one paper Camille and the others implies gerbe stack in the sense of Baron-Squibb paper. And yeah, I think I have already crossed the time. So this is first main theorem. So one can prove in the other direction also. You start with a gerbe stack D2C, and one can associate a Lie group extension. But for that, we need to make other assumption other than diagonal morphism. We assumed that this diagonal morphism is actually representable subject to submersion, but we didn't use the full generality. We only used a slight part of that. So which confirms that for a gerbe stack D2C, I can associate a Lie group extension. And, yes, so this is the main result. So if I start with the gerbe stack and assume the diagonal morphism is representable subject to submersion, then up to Morday equivalence, there is a unique Lie group extension. So this is it. So this says gerbe stack in the sense of Baron-Squibb is same thing as, with certain extra condition, is same thing as a gerbe stack in the sense of Camille and others. Yes. So one thing I want to say before I stop is, though we assumed that the diagonal map is representable subject to submersion, we didn't use the full generality. We only used that there exists a set of classes for D and C with some compatibility, which is of course true for Lie group odd extension. So maybe if we consider a more restricted version of gerbe stack, say G gerbe stack, then maybe this condition might not be necessary. So the concluding statement is, so this gives a correspondence between those two notions of gerbe stack, and we believe this might help in understanding the other structures over structures introduced in those two papers. For example, the notion of connection and the references of this. So the first paper I used as a reference to understand stacks in general, differentiable stacks. Second paper is this paper talks about gerbe stack in the sense of Lie group extension that I mentioned before. And this Baron-Squibb paper is talks about gerbe stack as a morphism of stacks. And this paper, the fourth paper with my advisor, this talk is based on this paper. And these two I used as references for these three. I used as a reference for Lie group parts and stacks. And so yeah, so that's all. Thanks.